So recently I rewatched Justice League, the animated series. And one set of episodes that always stood out to me has to be the Thanagarian invasion and occupation of Earth. Now, many of you may say, oh, but the Thanagarians, they had their reasons to do what they did. Well, I don't. As someone who fully believes in a united government, or at least a militarized united government, a la Federation, from Starship Troopers, the Citizens Federation, which I'm still waiting for that fucking coup, people. I'm still waiting for my citizens' coup to take over so we can actually have a decent society, but I digress. When watching it, and of course afterwards listening to a variety of Sabaton songs, then having these images come into my mind, these amazing thoughts, bravery, gallantry, resistances, and just all around interesting thoughts, I wish to present to you, ladies and gentlemen, a thought experiment. One that I would love for you, especially the fanfiction authors, to kind of get into. And this may be, of course, in turn inspired by the Halo Justice League one, where the UNSC actually helped fight back against the Thanagarian invasion. Uh, anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you this. What if the Justice League was captured? What if the world's militaries fought back? What if Sierra, Hawk Girl, turned coat and started feeding information to not only, of course, the resistance, but also to the military as a whole, under the call sign Angel? What if indeed? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you this little thought experiment. Let's begin with the Justice League being entirely captured, and the Thanagarians announcing them as trying to destroy the ability to defend Earth. People start getting suspicious, especially the militaries. The politicians, of course, they're politicians. News media, but not the military. Until an interesting email comes in, one that shows the true purpose of the quote-unquote protection. It's not protection, it's an occupation. This, in turn, enrages the military high command, and they begin fighting back. Each of the nations fight back. Those in occupied areas, Gotham, Metropolis, they are under extreme occupation, and the resistances begin. Major villains, of course, would be eliminated on the spot. The Joker would be dead, Bane would probably be dead, Mr. Freeze, underground, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn, also underground. Many villains who we don't need can be removed, because they be seen as issues for the occupational government. The front lines are drawn, and as such, the military does what they do best. And it's not just the one military, it is now a multinational military, a la Independence Day, where everyone is communicating, everyone is fighting back. And they are fighting back hard. The war lasts months, stalling the building process of their doomsday device. Which, again, say what you will about the Thanagarians, but you don't need to sacrifice a planet just to fight your enemies. They continue to fight. An Angel, the call sign for their informant inside enemy lines, is sending them information. As the war progresses, in Moscow, the Battle of Moscow wins a major victory. In Moscow, there is a command node, a command center that actually has much information, a treasure trove of enemy intelligence. This is sent back to multinational command in America, to be exact, the Cheyenne Mountain Range, where NORAD is, now turned into the multinational HQ and the main HQ for all military forces. Lex Luthor, on the outside, being the beacon of cooperating with our friendly Thanagarians, on the underground side, providing weapons and much-needed supplies for resistance movements. Smart, of course. In Gotham, the once villainesses and villains that were trying to take over the world now pick up arms to fight for their world. For while, yes, they may be villains, they may be criminals, they're still Gothamites. And ain't no way in hell these bastards are going to take their city without a fight. Gotham is considered a red zone. Metropolis, a yellow zone. Only the elite of the elite consider that which is around Lex Luthor's tower, LexCorp, a green zone. As such, the fighting continues, until finally, information is leaked of possible command nodes within, Central Command, and the possible location of the Justice League within either Metropolis or, Gotham. As such, 2 teams are sent in. We could follow a team into Gotham and realize that the head of the Gotham resistance movement is none other than Poison Ivy, with her second-in-command, Harley Quinn. Yes, I am doing the shipping, but I'm sorry, those two make a perfect couple, and I'll be honest, I can see Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn leading a resistance movement. I really can. As such, they link up with them, a little bit of chat, a little bit of divulging, Cheetah being the hit and runner, of course, and all around it's definitely moving along. Atlantis helping out at seas, the Thanagarians, the Amazonians being the perfect shock troopers in Greece, and much of the Mediterranean Sea. The fighting is hard for the Thanagarians because they believed humanity would not fight back. You don't know us very well, do you? America is essentially a massive front line. Everything towards Metropolis is being prepared for a massive push. However, new information comes in that causes the massive offensive to be sped up by 3 days. Within 3 days, Metropolis and Gotham would be liberated, but not without heavy losses on both sides. However, the information nodes are found. New command centers are found within Gotham and Metropolis, pointing that the Justice League is being held within their massive structure, their doomsday device, to power it with their powers. Batman, of course, is never seen. They believe Batman went to ground. Now that is where I can leave you guys to figure out and discuss in the comments section, what would Batman be doing during the occupation? In the Middle East, of course, is where their command center is, their main command center. The Air Force, of course, the multinational Air Force, is giving these Thanagarians hell, showing them exactly why we're a race of aces in the sky. F-16s, MiGs, all these fighters are fighting tooth and nail in the sky, fighting them, shooting them down, dogfights left and right. They're doing everything they can. On the ground, massive artillery, bombardments bombard the doomsday device, to cover, of course, an infiltration team. The infiltration team going in to save the Justice League. Among them are a squad of Marines. Not just any squad of Marines, though. John Jones' old squad. Because they don't leave a Marine behind. And they're going to get Staff Sergeant Jones out of there. As such, the operation begins. After hours of massive bombardment from artillery pieces, mortars, rocket crews, everything they can to throw at this doomsday device, they're hammering it to hell and back. Trench lines are dug, fighting tooth and nail. And inside, the infiltration team finds the Justice League, under the cover of the bombardment. As such, they pull him out. Superman, of course, wakens first and sees Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy in tactical gear, along with Amazonians and even Atlanteans. Confused as to why this is, only being told that you've missed a lot since you've been under. Pulling them out of the facility, they're told to evacuate. That the first bomb will drop. That bomb being a nuclear warhead. They want to take out this doomsday device, and as such, the multinational military heads, without the government, of course, because to hell with the government, realizes that the only way to knock this thing out is with as much firepower as they can. As such, the first bomb is dropped. They see the flash. And all they know is that humanity, without the Justice League, fought harder than they ever could have imagined. The second bomb drops. And a lone soldier comments saying that this is the 3rd and 4th time since Nagasaki and Hiroshima that humanity has ever dropped nuclear weapons on their enemies. The war is won in humanity's favor. The Thanagarians leave with their tails between their legs. Shayera, of course, is exposed as Angel, the person who actually, well, gave the information needed to help win the war. Why, though? Why would she turn on her own people? This is where I give you guys options. Because in my opinion, John Jones and Shara, there's no way in hell they ain't fucking. There's no way in hell they ain't banging. And in my opinion, I believe she did it, and this is, if I was writing it, of course, I'd say she did it because she's pregnant. She's pregnant with his kid. And disgusted by what her people are doing, she decides to side with the man, the love, the father of her child's people. And again, one of those things that you can do. How Shayera, of course, came into the multinationals' hands was from the Metropolis Command Center, where she literally stunned the lieutenant and gave herself up, and even said that she was pregnant with the Green Lantern's child. And again, the war is won, but the world's changed. With the reverse engineering of the Thanagarian technology, the military, now in command, begins creating an Earth Defense Force, an EDF, creating an Earth Space Defense Force, an ESDF, and begins mobilizing their forces to defend Earth from any invader, foreign or domestic, terrestrial or within their solar system. Now, how one can take the story from there is completely up to you, but to me, I believe that humanity would spread out sort of like, well, the UEG from, of course, Halo, or even the UNSC from Halo. I believe humanity would expand out, and they would basically build a territory, so that way any extraterrestrial son of a bitch coming to try and knock in their shit would get a rude fucking awakening. The Justice League would be there as a police force, not as a military entity. There is need for heroes, be they military or cape and costumed. Many a villain who was a villain or villainess who fought in the war changes their profession, joining up with either the EDF or the ESDF, or retiring altogether. They did their part, and realizing how much they did, how much has changed because of the war, they just want to rebuild, settle down, and rest. They've had enough fighting for a lifetime. It's time for the next generation to come along and take up the mantle of what they fought for. Again, just a thought experiment. But in my opinion, the what-ifs of the Thanagarian invasion and occupation is one that, in my opinion, is fuel for many a good war story, many a good resistance story, many for a good growth of humanity. Even when the alien species from Young Justice come in, of course, to try and spread their little metahuman energy drink, that alone can be good for a story. Them showing up, thinking that they can come in and just do what they can? No. Not on the UEG's watch. Not on the EDF's watch. Not on the ESDF's watch. Hell no. But the question is, how would the Justice League be in this new society? Where would they fit in? Would they still be the cape and costumed heroes that we need? Or would they just be an extra planetary police force? I leave that to you in the comments section. But, as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Al, and I thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this little thought experiment, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments section. Till next time.